A mother and her young son were flying WestJet Airlines from Ottawa to Calgary. The little boy turned to his mother and asked, "If big dogs have baby dogs and big cats have baby cats, why don't big airplanes have baby airplanes?" The mother, who couldn't think of an answer, told her son, "Why don't you go ask the flight attendant?" So the boy went down the aisle and asked the flight attendant, "If big dogs have baby dogs and big cats have baby cats, why don't big airplanes have baby airplanes?" The flight attendant, who was very busy at the time, smiled and said, "Did your mom tell you to ask me?" The boy said, "Yes, she did." "Well then, you go and tell your mother that there are no baby airplanes because WestJet always pulls out on time. Have your mother explain that to you." A cabbie picks up a nun. She gets into the cab and notices that the cabbie won't stop staring at her. She asks the cabbie, "Why are you staring?" He asks, "I have a question to ask, but I don't want to offend you." She answers, "My son, you cannot offend me. When you're as old as I am and have been a nun as long as I have, you get a chance to see and hear just about everything. I'm sure that there is nothing that you could say or ask that would offend me. Well, I've always had a fantasy to have a nun kiss me. Well, let's see what we can do about that. First, you have to be single, and second, you have to be Catholic." The cab driver says, "Yes, I'm single and I'm Catholic." "Okay, pull into the next alley." The nun gives the cabbie a kiss that would make a hooker blush. But when they get back on the road, the cab driver starts crying. "My dear child, why are you crying?" "Forgive me, but I've sinned. I lied and I must confess I'm married and I'm Jewish." "That's okay. My name is Kevin and I'm going to a Halloween party." A young man with a bad stutter says to his priest, "Father, I would like to participate in the church's fundraiser." The preacher, knowing he had a bad stutter, only gave him one Bible to sell. The following day, the young man returned asking for more. The preacher says to his altar boy, "Get me 5 more Bibles." The following week, the young man came back looking for more Bibles. The preacher says to his altar boy, "Get me 10 Bibles." By the end of the week, the preacher was talking to a nun. That young man with the bad stutter broke the church's all-time record for the highest sales of Bibles. Maybe divine intervention has occurred. The preacher had to know the young man's secret. He asks him, "How are you able to sell so many Bibles in such a short amount of time?" The young man said, "I asked them if they wanted to buy a Bible or have me read it to them."